Okay, I'm going to talk about the Boko Haram. Um, it's been all over the news media. Over Nigeria, terrorists has basically gone and dragged a bunch of girls who were receiving Western education out of their schools and such, and basically kidnapped them. And he has sworn that he's going to sell them into slavery. The media has hyped this up enough so that everybody's in a bit of an uproar about it. The term Boko Haram, it does definitely have a definition. It basically means, or what they're saying it means, because I don't speak the language, is that Western education is sin. They are trying to seek a pure Islamic state that's going to be ruled by the Sharia, and they want to put a stop to what they call Westernization. It's, I don't know, the worst of Islam that you're going to find, and it just doesn't work. I mean, they've adopted a name. I believe it was the Congregation of the People, Tradition and Proselytism and Jihad. Okay. That seems pretty obvious. The second term they used was the Group of the People of Sunnah for Preaching and Struggle. That sounds more like a movement, but the first one kind of speaks it all when you have the word jihad in there. We are screaming about it. Why haven't we done something about it if it's that big a deal? I mean, it's over Nigeria. We're making a big deal about it. It's not a natural disaster, which we seem to always stick our noses into. This is a sin against human rights, I guess. Travesty, I don't know what you want to say. But why are we so focused on over there when we've got plenty of crud to deal with here in the United States? If it's that big a deal, why hasn't a SEAL team gone in and eliminated these bastards and gotten it over with? Why? Because it's not that big a deal. It's not something that we want to be involved in. It's not something that is critical to our people. It's not critical to our economy. And frankly, it's not a single event that can be stopped or done with any kind of finite purpose. Because as much as they don't want to say it at this point, girls get kidnapped and sold into slavery all the time over there. In the Middle East, in some of the European countries, in the Asiatic countries, it happens everywhere. Are we going to do a war on human slavery? Well, it would have righteousness on its side, but it always comes down to who's going to fund it. How many Americans are actually going to fund it if they realize that it's going to put a crimp in their lifestyle because taxes will go up a little bit? That's kind of one of the bases for how we run things nowadays. Whatever happened to the war on terror? They've labeled this guy a terrorist. Why haven't we done something? You know why? Because he has not attacked American interests. This is a travesty that's being driven by the media because it's ratings, it's shocking, and it's public. Okay, he publicized it. They're giving him the attention that he wanted, and they're empowering this bastard. They don't do it when one girl is kidnapped from a village and sold into slavery. But they're doing it here. They've assassinated just about anybody who's criticized them. They've assassinated Muslim clerics. They're doing pretty much what they want. why hasn't anybody done anything about it up till now? Now, all of a sudden, we're committing to it because there's girls involved. This group's only been around since like 2009. I'm sure they had some kind of progenitor group, but they've been around 5 years, and we're letting them do this. Either we turn our backs and focus on our infrastructure, focus on our internal, our domestic problems, or why don't we just end this crap quick? Why don't we just, go in there with whatever allies we have, shoot these bastards in the head, and either hope that things get to normal. Of course, we would probably try to push some kind of democratic government on them, because that's what we do. Or just let nature take its course, because nature pours a vacuum. You kill this terrorist bastard, and somebody else is going to rise up and take his place, either as a member of the this Boko Haram ideology, or some other fucked up, fanatical, idealistic philosophy, which is part of the human soul. I say that because it's everybody's nature to look for a cause. They've found their cause. It may not be a right cause, it may not be an ethical cause, it may not be a moral cause, but it's a cause. I in no way condone it. But it's not much different than what some other people do. It's not much different than the Tea Party movement, the Occupy movement, the LGBT rights movement. You're going to say it is because none of the others kill anybody. Yet. It might come to that at some point. So, it just, it needs, we need to take a stand on something. We either need to take a stand and basically say, we are not the world's police. We are not the world's conscience, and sorry, but this is in our interest. We're going to continue to do what we have to do to make ourselves stronger, make our people stronger. Or we have to turn around and say, you know what? We are the moral police of the world, and as such, we're going to go out there and shoot ourselves some bad guys. And frankly, fuck the media. They're going to sensationalize it. They're going to push this to whatever limits they can, because it gives them ratings. And most media people are soulless. They really are. Because it's all about how many viewers they can get. Why? Because that translates to paychecks. You're not going to find honesty in big media. You're going to find it in the small timers. This YouTube video, other small timers YouTube videos, because frankly, I don't care how many views I get. Well, I do care, because I'm a numbers cruncher and I love that kind of crap, but I'm not looking for a paycheck. I'm not thinking, ooh, if I do this, I'm eventually going to get paid by it. I'm just a poor white boy. I know it. I'm going to stay it. But I'm also a highly educated one. I've got very distinct views. I've got a very logical mindset. And I can view the world. Now, maybe I don't have the capacity to change it with my physical actions, but I can do this. I can do these videos. I can try to make a few people out there aware that weren't aware before. Maybe give them something else to think about, another point of view. Oh wow, I guess that would be considered westernization. That would be Western teachings in a way. So I guess the Boko Haram would be hating me. Well, if I were a Nigerian, I'd still be saying it. I wouldn't be afraid. I mean, okay, I won't say I won't be afraid, but I would not be cowed into silence. I might very well have an AK-47 on my shoulder when I'm saying it because somebody came looking for me after it. I'm going to defend myself. But it really can't stop me from saying it. Idealistic opinions are like a virus. All it takes is somebody being forthright enough to say them, to spread it, and it's going to spread to others. And if it spreads to enough, it's a domino effect. You can't stop it. And that's where, if it gets to Nigeria, the Boko Haram are going to be buried under the domino effect. They're going to be buried underneath a wave of righteousness. Those who basically are going to stand up and say, I'm not taking this shit anymore. In the old days, when the peasants rose up, the mighty fell. Well, they always say the meek shall inherit the earth, but when the meek rise up, it's when the bullies fall. So, all it takes is one charismatic leader to get them organized. You know, I love my quotes. I love my sayings. And I believe it was one time said is, I don't fear an army of lions led by a sheep, but I do fear an army of sheep led by a lion. It's a very potent saying if you really analyze it and think about it. And maybe one day it'll apply to here, because at this point, if the Nigerian people don't want this to happen, the Nigerian people are going to have to step up and they're going to have to finish it. Perhaps if they're going to do so, we will back them and we will give them some more oomph. But if they're not, it's not our problem. We've already fucked up and did that in Vietnam. We've already fucked up and done that in Iraq. You can't build a foundation on fluff, on cotton, the cotton that comes off those sheep. You need to build it on stone. You need to build it on concrete. You need to build it on firm earth. And for that, you have to have people that are motivated and have a will to do what you want them to. So, I probably got a little bit off course on that, so I'm going to wrap it at that. The moral of the story is Boko Haram, bad. My ideology, good. I'd make a hell of a president because, frankly, I would probably scare the shit out of people like Putin and these idiots from the Boko Haram, because I'd make Reagan and his sword rattling look kind of tame. Take it easy, guys, because I is out of here.